All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to Corsace Closed Group Stage. We are here with another good matchup: Blue Pants versus Ghoul Mode. This is going to be the 16 versus 24 seed, and Ghoul Mode are in a pretty tough spot already. They have played two matches and unfortunately dropped both. So if Ghoul Mode do lose this match as well, they will be eliminated from Corsace, and I believe that would make them the first team mathematically eliminated. So they cannot afford to lose this one. I'm MyFlame, and it's just going to be me for now. We might get another commentator in later, but remains to be seen. Let's take a look at these rosters, though. On the side of Blue Pants, we have an absolutely terrifying lineup of Kama, Almighty Door, to Kaden, Razorfruit, Gaby, and Caleb. This is a group of players that have played together so many times, and they have put up some really good performances. I'm honestly a little bit surprised to see them down at seed 16. You look at this roster on paper, and this is a team you'd expect to be up there battling for those top 8 positions. So potentially a very underseeded team. On the other side, we have got Ghoul Mode, and we have got Sedru, Hanori, Aleph, Corian, Maluko, Manivat, and Creator GD. Also some very notable players here. Corian, Maluku, especially, as well as Aleph, have put up some really solid tournament performances lately. And we should be getting into the pick ban here. On the side of Blue Pants, uh, likely going to see them ban out something like the Hard Rock 2. That's something that Ghoul Mode did look really good on, and this is a tough matchup for Ghoul Mode, unlike a lot of previous matchups that we've seen, where teams have very kind of distinct strengths and weaknesses. It feels like Ghoul Mode has kind of a lot of skill sets that are not so different from Blue Pants, but they've just been a little bit worse in all of them. So they do have a few maps where they have looked better, notably the Hard Rock 2, things like the DT1 and the Nomad 1. And so it is going to be the DT1 banned out instead. They do not want to play that aim into Ghoul Mode. I think that's really smart into players like Corian and LF, even Hanori, who are very strong in the aim, I think. We're likely just to see the HD2 ban out of Ghoul Mode. It has been a very, very common ban, and Blue Pants did put up a really strong score on the HDs in qualifiers. So that is likely just going to be banned out. They're going to take some time to think about it and ban out the HD1 instead. So they do not want to leave open that more alt-focused hidden pick. Now, speaking to you, I know some teams who have struggled with the hidden 2 have struggled just as much with the hidden 1, having a very tough time with the the AR9, which is a little bit low compared to your usual maps at this stage, which tend to be closer to something like 9.6, 9.7. So that change to AR9, which was intended to make it a little bit easier, has had the opposite effect for a few players, and we've got the HR1 pick for Ghoul Mode. Makes a lot of sense. I think we're just going to see them sticking to the aim as much as possible, hence why the DT1 has been banned out by Blue Pants. But this is a really scary one. Of course, Decaton, a player that can do very, very well on the Hard Rock aim. That is kind of what Decaton was originally known for. Came into OWC last year as that precision Hard Rock, aim Hard Rock player. And they're going to need to, Ghoul Mode is going to need to find somebody to match that score from Decaton. Then you've also got players like Razorfruit and Kama, equally solid on the Hard Rock. So that's going to be a strong lineup for them. Meanwhile, in Ghoul Mode, I do like this pick from them. Even though it's not a clear advantage, it is just a tough matchup for them because of the skill sets. So I do think this is one of their better options. Likely to see Corian, Aleph, probably Sedru maybe, as well as Creator, if I had to guess for the last player. I don't know the Ghoul Mode roster quite as well. So possible we could see Hanori in for this one, although I'm not quite as familiar with Hanori's skill set. And this Hard Rock 1 is going to be an Oko map, is going to be very, very fast aim at 250 BPM. And Oko, apparently, actually quite an enjoyer of his own map on this one. This is going to be a 5 out of 10 on the forest difficulty scale, so not super comfortable compared to what players are normally used to. This is going to be because it's much faster aim, add an extra 10 BPM, and you've got yourself an alt map, so not very comfortable aim, and it's just going to be even early on. We shouldn't see too many early misses. Almighty Door, the only one to miss in the beginning. Caleb finds the miss as well, actually. Yet another miss. Corian does trade it back. And it's just going to keep things close. It is an accuracy advantage for Ghoul mode at the moment with the Kaiten on a 96, and Almighty Door continues to find misses, so it's just 2 FCs trying to fend off the 3 from Ghoul mode, and everything is on to Kaiten and Razorfruit because Caleb and Almighty Door are not able to find any combos. Sedru finds a pretty big miss. That's an FC down for Ghoul mode, and all of a sudden, things are pretty even. 2 combos to 2, 1 supporting combo on each team, and there goes Creator GD. That's another FC gone from Ghoul mode. Kaiten and Razorfruit are going to be bringing this one back. You should see the score lead flip back over as long as those 2 can hold on to their combos. Even Caleb on a good recovery, matched by Corian Maluko. And Manivat, that's the last FC gone from Ghoul mode. It looked so good at the start, but with only Almighty Door and Caleb finding misses for Blue Pants are going to very quickly bring this score lead back. We see the score bar flip over for Blue Pants, or we should be in a second. And there's half of the map to go. They're going to start to run away with this one. Thankfully for Ghoul mode, we do see good recovery combos, but the recovery combos only matter if Kaiten and Razorfruit find misses. If neither of those players find a drop, it's just not going to matter, unfortunately. But it is very, very close. Ghoul mode have done enough in the early parts of this map to at least keep themselves in it. And Caleb and Almighty Door are just not having a good time on this map. They really have not been able to contribute much of anything on this pick. It has just been Kaiten and Razorfruit absolutely hard carrying. And this is close because now the combos are so big on Ghoul mode that they're matching the 2 FCs from Blue Pants because Caleb and Almighty Door continue to find misses. And if these 2 players continue to miss, the Goldman combos are going to be enough to overcome the FCs. There is a pretty tricky ending, though. There goes the Kaiten. That's an FC gone. You could not afford to lose that. The score is going to instantly flip over to Gold mode. Almighty Door, Caleb. Yet again, more misses from these 2 players. Razorfruit is the last hope for Blue Pants, but trying to take down 4 players. Sedru finds a big miss. It's going to slow the bleeding for Blue Pants, but the combos from Corian is only 300 behind Razorfruit, and this looks like it should be a point for Ghoul mode as Blue Pants are out of time here. Razorfruit missing into the ending is going to seal it, and wow, Razorfruit and Kaiten had such massive combos, such big scores, but Almighty Door and Caleb had a really hard time building up more than 300 combos throughout the entirety of the map. Whereas Ghoul mode, on the other hand, just had a really, really strong full team performance. You just need Corian to match Kaiten, and the other 3 players have no problem matching that near FC from Razorfruit, and so Ghoul mode are going to be taking their first point. Of course, that was the first pick for Ghoul mode, so their Blue Pants are not going to feel too bad about that one. This is not a pick they necessarily expected to win. And they do have a pick of their own, of course. They have quite a few pick options that would look good for them. Of course, that HD2 being left open for Gold mode would be a very good pick for Blue Pants, but there is a chance they do leave that open, something to pick later on in the match for momentum. It's not something they need to pick now. We could easily see them go for one of these more tapping focused picks, something like the No Mod 3, something like the No Mod 2 even, and it is just the HD2, so no real surprises as they are going to be very, very advantaged on this one. Um, Goal mode, unfortunately, did struggle very, very heavily with this one in the qualifier stage. Whereas Blue Pants, they just got a really solid roster here. You put in Almighty Door, you put in Caleb and KB as well. And that is just a really scary hidden 2 roster up against any team. Now, this is, I believe, going to be the first match of the tournament for Blue Pants. So they are currently at 0-0 in the group, being the 16 seed. This would be a very big win for them, as they are the second seed, but the third seed is team rank 17, or seed 17, I should say. So, not necessarily an easy matchup for Blue Pants by any mean. You really need to be taking wins off the bottom seeds if you want the best chance at escaping this group stage. So, going to be every match, of course, is important in the group stage, being that there's only 3. Not sure who you put in for GHOUL mode. We should be seeing Manivat again, along with Aleph. And we might see Honori in for this one. Yes, Honori in for the reading pick, and it's going to be Corian over Manivat. Now, as we get into the HD2, we got a, looks like a Spartan pick. We had something much streamier in the HD2 previously, but I'm going to be saving that for a later round. We used to have a lot more buzz sliders in the map as well, but after some playtesting, we eliminated those. It just really wasn't nearly as good of a map. This one feels really good. It's a 6 out of 10 on the 4 scale, so not going to be very comfortable overall. And it is just going to be an early miss from Aleph. I just have one more note there that I'm not going to read out. Thank you, // for that. And we do see misses traded from Decaton and Corian, but Aleph continues to find misses. Now it's Honori finding the drop, and it's only going to be 1 SC left on Creator for GHOUL mode. Okay, and it's just gone. Creator, I think, missed on the burst. Maybe just mistimed it. Didn't tap enough. Not exactly sure what happened there, but that's full FC gone for GHOUL mode. Meanwhile, we've got Caleb, we've got Gaby, we've got Almighty Door, all holding. These are very, very comfortable reading hidden players, and this one isn't even super reading intensive. It is much more aim focused, so not as reading intensive as some of the HD2s you tend to see, and this one is very quickly getting out of hand. We do see big misses from Caleb and Almighty Door, so 2 FCs falling off for Blue Pants, but with Gaby still holding, it shouldn't make too much of a difference unless we see some really big recoveries out of GHOUL mode. And we're already halfway through the map. Corian, not a player you can afford to have miss. You need to hold on to all the recovery combo you can get, because they need somebody to match Gaby, and it is just not happening. Gaby is still on the 99.6, such impressive accuracy. And Gaby into the more bursty section now. If Gaby can hold, this is going to be just a guaranteed point for Blue Pants. And there it is. Gaby holds through the section. 500,000 is the score lead for Blue Pants, and that's just going to be a point back for them in decisive fashion. I mean, there is still a quarter of the map to go, but again, just no combo, unfortunately, for GHOUL mode to close this one out. Now, this is never a pick you expected to win for GHOUL mode. You take a look at the pool, you kind of have to ban out the hidden 1 or the hidden 2, and the other one is just going to be a free point for Blue Pants, so it was always how it was going to go, and GHOUL Mode know this is going to be the case. They're going to look to strike back with a pick of their own up next. It is a little bit tricky to find the next pick for GHOUL Mode. It doesn't feel like they have a ton of options. I do think we're likely to see them go towards stick towards the aim as much as we can. So that's probably going to look something like the Nomad one to follow up the Hard Rock one, especially with the DT1 ban from Blue Pants. Now the other aim option is that free mod 2, but it is AR 8.5, so they would need at least one player to kind of take that low AR rating. We have seen generally teams overmod that with a couple extra hard rocks just to offset that AR 8.5 with some players who aren't as comfortable on the low AR. So either the free mod one or the no mod one. I do like the no mod one a little bit more here for GHOUL Mode, as I think it's a little bit risky trying to find somebody who can match Gaby on that low AR hidden aim. Would realistically have to be possibly creator matching. Certainly not easy, is going to depend on how the rest of the team feels on this one, and it's going to be the free mod one instead, so opting into the speed. And this is a really, really interesting one. Um, GHOUL Mode really struggled with the speed DT in qualifiers. So I'm not sure if they just didn't have their full lineup potentially, or it was that specific style of speed map that they weren't comfortable on, because this one is more just a kind of, pure speed, 270 BPM, very bursty. And this one is a UMGH custom song. It is the only custom song in the pool. And it is kind of it is going to be breakcore type map, kind of similar to what you would normally expect out of a Xenobeat type thing. And it does have a full spread for different difficulties. I think a 3-star, 4-star, and high 5-star difficulties. So you guys can actually play this custom song for yourself if you like. But it is going to be a 2 out of 10 on the 4's difficulty scale. And what that means is, from a mapping perspective, it is mapped quite comfortably. But of course, that is just from the mapping perspective. You do have to be able to hit the 270 BPM burst, and any non-speed players are going to struggle on the burst. So we do see Sedru in for the first time for GHOUL Mode, as well as Razorfruit making an appearance. And I certainly don't think this is a bad pick for GHOUL Mode, but definitely not one I was expecting. We'll have to see what they can do. This map does not get any easier as it goes on. It can be very stamina intensive with how long it is at, I believe, just over 3 minutes. No, it is going to be 2:15 actually. So on the shorter side, we do see Decaton with the early miss. Going to be looking good for GHOUL Mode, but Sedru trades it back. GHOUL Mode going to be missing out on that potential advantage, and it is just a slight accuracy lead for GHOUL Mode, but Sedru finds a miss yet again. Decaton is recovering a little bit, so the score should flip back over, assuming everybody on Blue Pants can hold on to their combos. There is still a lot of map to be played, and this map does not get any easier. We're going to see a lot more misses towards the ending, and it is actually Creator GD worth noting on the hidden hard rock, Corian on the hard rock, and Sedru on the hidden, so an overmod from GHOUL Mode, whereas Blue Pants just have the hidden and hard rock from Door and Decaton. The overmod is really paying off for them though so far. It is that extra multiplier from the hidden hard rock on Creator that is keeping them in the score lead. kind of offsetting that small combo lead from Decatur. Every miss is going to be huge at this point in the map. The combos are so massive, and the combos are on every single player. Obviously, an FC would be the biggest loss for either team, but at this point, even Sedru and Decatur, and it's going to be Aleph finding the first miss for GHOUL mode into this section, and it's right before the break that both teams see. Oh, Razor Fruit right after the break. Possibly a nervous miss, going to be traded back, and it's going to be GHOUL mode staying in the lead. Aleph finds yet another miss, but Sedru is on the recovery. And this is pure mods. It is only the hidden hard rock. Oh, Creator finds a miss. The score is going to flip back over instantly to the side of Blue Pants. And now they desperately need a miss from Caleb or Door. It's a miss from Razorfruit, but that's not the miss they need. It had to be anyone else. And it looks like they might just be running out of time. It's very quickly 100,000 point lead, and that's going to be it. A very, very good chance for a GHOUL mode, but not going to be enough. And it's going to be our first break point of the match is Blue Pants now up 2-1 on their own pick. And it was just a one miss, of course, from Aleph and Sedru. All it took for GHOUL mode there was one less miss, or even if Sedru had missed, 100, 200 combo earlier, would have been enough to sway the map, but just how it goes sometimes, and that's going to be really big for Blue Pants. Really good advantage for them if they can consolidate this breakpoint with their next pick. They still have quite a few options left over in the pool. They do still have those more tapping oriented maps. Now, they don't really want to go for the speed, of course, so I don't think they're going to touch something like the DT2. But I could see something more alts, more aim control focused, like the No Mod 3. We do potentially have the Hard Rock 2 as well. I don't think I'd really touch that because GHOUL mode has looked really good on the Precision. One of the few things they looked better on over Blue Pants in qualifiers. Pick is not entirely clear. It's going to be the No Mod 5, so that other reading pick. And I completely forgot that this was an option. This one is a very, very good pick for Blue Pants. Players like Gaby are going to have a really, really good time with this one. This was initially a Lince Cosmico solo map, but did, after mapping some of the song, bring in a veteran mapper to collab in Scub Domino. These gimmick picks can be really, really tricky to map and balance well, while making them comfortable and enjoyable to play while still keeping it the good gimmick balance, especially because it's not typically what Lince maps. So a bit of a new skill set mapped for Lince, and did consider making it AR 8.5 with a couple different patterns, but after a bit of play testing, it did just feel much better on the ARR9, and this one is an 8 out of 10 on the font scale. So I believe the least comfortable map in the entire pool based on the forest difficulty scale. And I think we're going to see Almighty Door back in for this one. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on Creator for GHOUL mode to put up that big combo to try and match some of the combos that you expect to see on the side of Blue Pants with so many good low AR rating players. And while this is not the low AR rating that you might often see out of a No Mod 5, there is still that rating element, very finger control heavy. A lot of aim control as well. This map is very full of doubles. You do just see the kind of independent doubles at the start of the map, but As the map goes on, you very quickly get into the mix of doubles, triples. There are early misses from Gaby, Kama, and Aleph. An Almighty Door as well, actually, finding a miss, so out of the opening, it's only Decaton that's still holding the full combo for Blue Pants, but this map does get a whole lot harder, so we're going to see a lot more misses, but it's Kama who finds the next miss, and not looking as good for Blue Pants early on as you might have expected, but the accuracy advantage is absolutely massive for Blue Pants. Aleph is on a 93, and everybody else slightly behind their counterparts on Blue Pants, so... Oh, there goes Decaton. That's the last FC gone for Blue Pants, and that should be enough to push the score lead pretty heavily in GHOUL mode's favor. Aleph continues to miss, but with 3 FCs it doesn't really matter, but that's 2 of those FCs gone, but it's also a full reset for Blue Pants. Corey and Maluko should be able to really push this score lead. It is a decently long map though, so Corian has a long ways to go to really feel comfortable and secure in getting this point, especially with Aleph continuing to miss. It is really just going to be that core 3 of Corian, Sedru, and Manivat trying to take down the other 4 players, but there goes Corian, the last big combo gone from GHOUL mode. And it's going to go right back in favor of Blue Pants as everybody on that team has recovered, only being matched by Manivat. And as slowly as the score does go back over, there's still half of the map to go. And the 2 players that you need to see with big combos, Corian and Sedru, have unfortunately dropped. The accuracy is just not there for Manivat and Aleph. And Corian finds another miss into this next really tricky aim control section. This is a lot of linear, almost grid map portion of the map, and this is where Blue Pants players can really shine. There goes Corian and and Sedru, sorry, again. Manivat as well. That's all the big combos aside from Aleph down on GHOUL mode. It is traded by Gaby, but that's not going to be nearly enough, as Blue Pants are going to be running away with this one. Almighty Door is going to slow the bleeding a little bit, but there goes Aleph, the one player they could not afford to have miss. Kama does trade it back, so there can still be an opening, but Decaton needs to miss in the next 5-10 seconds. It is 200,000 points. It's a lot to make up with no big combos on GHOUL mode. And yeah, Decaton just going to be able to close this one out, as it's a very solid pick for Blue Pants. And this is more how we expected this pick to go. It did look a little bit scary in the beginning, but yeah, this team shows why they're so good at these finger control picks. They just have a really, really solid team performance on it. Everybody is going to be above 350k, whereas you just don't have that same team performance on the side of GHOUL mode, and Decaton is the big difference maker on this one, unfortunately, with nobody matching the point for Blue Pants, who are now going to be up by 2 points. But GHOUL mode do have the next pick, and they're going to be looking to bring this one back to a 1-point lead. I do very much appreciate that Decaton has finally reverted the name change from Dingleton. It's about time. Now it is on GHOUL mode to find a pick. And I think after the free mod 1, they're going to be a lot more hesitant to pick something like the DT2, which is honestly not something I would have expected them to pick in the first place. Neither was the free mod 1. I do feel like speed favors Blue Pants just a little bit in this match, so I expect we're going to have to see them switch it up. I don't think you want to go for aim control, especially after that no mod 5, but it is going to be the DT2. They are not going to shy away from the speed. This one is really surprising to me. They did not look good on the DT2 whatsoever in the qualifiers. Also dropping the speed map in the free mod 1. I'm not 100% sure what the idea is behind this DT2 pick, but clearly they are feeling confident on the pick. And this is going to be a big one. If you give up a second break point, you're on match point, and from there, Blue Pants just has to win their own pick to win the match, and this is potentially really scary for GHOUL mode. Now, to be fair, Blue Pants isn't really a speed team either. I could very easily see a team like Blue Pants opting to ban out the speed versus certain teams, but just Ghoul Mode is not one of those certain teams. You know, they haven't looked good on the speed so far, but they are sticking to it, and I guess we'll have to see whether it pays off. This DT2 is a collab between quite a few mappers. I know you guys have heard this a few times right now, but huge shout out to all of our mappers. We do have a full custom maps for Corsace who put a lot of time and effort into making all the custom maps that you guys are enjoying throughout this tournament and will continue to see throughout the tournament. So always want to give a ton of credit to them. And this time around, it is Dekaquar, Nissan, Eljaz, and Lucent who are responsible for bringing this one together. This one has quite a bit of finger control mixed in with the speed as well. It is just going to be D222 BPM, so not nearly as speedy as the Free Mod 1. And it's going to be a lot more comfortable in terms of speed for the players on the side of Blue Pants. Despite the early miss from Decade, this one is only a 4 out of 10 on the 4s scale, so while it's not super comfortable, it is not going to be super uncomfortable either, and it's going to be followed up by a miss from Caleb as well, so early misses are mostly on the side of Blue Pants, but there goes Corian now. And the accuracy is a little bit concerning from Aleph. Really holding them back from taking over the score advantage. There was actually an early miss from Sedru as well, so just going to be even combos across the board as Decaden finds yet another miss. But Decaden had already dropped the combo, was the lowest combo on the side of Blue Pants, so it's not going to be a massive advantage over for Blue Pants. There's a really big miss out of Sedru and Aleph. 2 FCs gone, and Creator has found a miss as well, so actually no FCs left on the side of Ghoul Mode. Kama Almighty Door very well might be able to run away with this one. Caleb has recovered back at 450 combo now. And it's only Corian Maluko with any combo whatsoever, and things are already looking really dicey for the side of Ghoul Mode. It is 200,000 points they have to make up. Aleph's miss is not going to help in their comeback effort, and we're already halfway through the map. It's not a long one. And there's not a ton of more combo to be gained. I mean, it's going to take an absolute meltdown from Blue Points at this point. And I'm just not sure if I see that happening, especially with how good Kama is at these kind of DT finger control speed picks. The ending of this map is very tricky. We have seen a lot of misses on it, but again, Aleph is the only one finding misses. Kama does find the miss, FC gone, but Creator trades it back. Almighty Door as well, but it's not good enough. Decaden now drops, but it's still Caleb holding the 900 combo. I mean, Ghoul Mode finds some of the misses they need, but at this point, they need all the misses. They need Caleb to fall as well, or it just isn't going to matter. The score lead is so massive. There goes Caleb. Oh, but Sedju and Creator have found misses. Corian does not have the combo to do it alone. There is not enough time left in the map. And that is going to be another break point. Yeah, especially with Aleph and Creator finding misses into the ending. Blue Points are going to be on match point now. And I have to come back to it one more time. This speed focus from Ghoul Mode is honestly just really baffling. I mean, you look at the Free Mod 1, you look at the qualifiers, I feel like this was a very predictable outcome. I'm not sure if maybe this is just the only kind of maps that Ghoul Mode feels they stand a chance on, but has not worked out for them. And this is one of those cases where, of course, Blue Pants are the favorite team, but with a few of those picks switched up, I would imagine it could have been a much closer match. Now, Blue Pants just have to win their own pick, and they've only had 2 picks so far in this match. They have a lot of options left in the pool. They have something like the No Mod 3. They even have the No Mod 4, something that they would look really good on, and it's just gonna be the No Mod 4 tech pick for them. They have so many strong tech players, especially in Razor Fruit and Decaton. This No Mod 4 is, of course, just going to be your slider tech map, and this was actually News' debut as a Corsace Open mapper. Did have a few maps in Corsace closed, I believe, but first one for Open, and did actually place on the podium for most promising mappers during the 2022 Mappers Choice Awards. So really cool to see some newer mappers in the scene and mapping some really cool maps like this No Mod 4. Um, And this one is going to be 5 out of 10. It has some very awkward sliders that have caught a lot of players out. Is the middle of the map especially that is really tricky, but the first quarter of the map is quite easy, a little bit more aim control focus. And so you shouldn't really see too many early misses, is the hope. Because the middle and end of this map are so hard that if you do find the early misses, and find yourself at an early deficit, it's going to be really, really hard to make that score up into the ending of the map. We are going to see Hinori back in for this one, and Manivat as well for goal mode. So it's going to be Korin Maluko, Manivat, Hinori, and Aleph, the 4 players trying to keep goal mode alive in this tournament. Don't forget, this team has already lost their previous 2 group stage matches, so if they lose this one, they will be the first team eliminated officially from Corsace. On the other side, we have got Kama, Razor Fruit, Almighty Door, and Decaton trying to secure Blue Pants' first win of the tournament, as it is their first match. Corian, Aleph, Kama, all going to be dropping on that first slider, and this is such a tricky section. Big spike in difficulty. Corian Maluko finding yet another miss, is not having a good time on this tech pick so far, but Almighty Door does trade it back, so at the very least, goal mode should be able to keep things close with Hinori and Manivat's combos, but even then, Manivat found a very early break, so the score lead is going to be slowly growing for the side of Blue Pants. It's all going to come down to this next Kiai section. There goes Razor Fruit. That's a big miss. Oh, but Manivat trades it. They needed Manivat to hold in order to really start staging the comeback. Now, it is going to be Hinori versus Decaton. There is one more really, really tough Kiai section coming up. If Decaton misses, all of a sudden, goal mode is right back in this one. But there is supporting combos from Kama and Almighty, so a miss from Decaton, while big, would not be enough on its own, right? You need to see players like Corian Maluko holding onto their combos. We need to see some support from Manivat and Aleph. The only way Hinori can do this alone is if we see misses out of both Decaton and one of the 2 out of Almighty Door and Kama. And here we go into the next tricky section. It all comes down to this. Here goes the build up, and if Hinori finds a miss, it is going to be over in an instant. Goal mode tournament hopes will be in the gutter, and there goes Hinori, finds a miss on the second slider of the section. And that is heartbreak for goal mode. I think that is going to be it for them. There are Decaton and Almighty Door, even Kama, who find misses, but there is just not enough combo on the side of goal mode to make the comeback. And unfortunately for goal mode, with 3, their overall record being 0-3, they are mathematically eliminated from Corsace, and they're going to be the first team we say goodbye to. Blue Pants going to be putting themselves in a really solid spot now, up 1-0, and have had some very decisive points which could make a difference if they do tie up. One thing to note about the 0-3 score is it makes it very, very possible that we do see tie breaks or tied win-loss records in this group. And that's all going to depend on whether or not a team could go 3-0. Because if we don't have a 3-0 from one of the teams, you could realistically just end up with a three-way 2-1 score in between the other three teams in this group. And if that's the case, of course, it does come down to which team has the bigger score differential on maps as the first. I believe that's going to be the first tiebreaker. But congratulations to Blue Pants, who have looked really, really strong. Of course, this is only the first match for them, and the other teams have 2 maps to go as well. So this group is still completely wide open. And that is going to be it for us today. The next match is going to be at 4 UTC. So later tonight, if you are in North America, in Europe, and if you are in the later time zones, will be tomorrow morning. And that one is going to be KSC Zinger Bots versus Blue Pants. So we're going to see Blue Pants back yet again. And they are going to be up against, I want to say, the 1 seed. Yeah, it's going to be the number 9 seeded team in the group. So going to be their toughest matchup of the group. But huge thank you to Cavo for streaming the matches today. I've been iFlame. And of course, huge thank you to all our viewers. So tune in again at 4 UTC for our next Blue Pants match. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and we will see you later. Take care.